Norma Jean Mortensen. If I were naked, I could be like all the other girls. You never bothered anyone, hidden under a spotty jumper and stringy hair, but then you opened the seams and carefully put them all back, pleats stitched into place, across the back to the hips, the halter neck laid flat against your chest, the big gloves, the black gloves, the hidden hooks, $2.50 earrings, sequin belt, white fox stole, huge silk flowers, half buttons for nipples, the skin-tight dahlia dress, skirting the censers, the chiffon, the single dropped jewel below the cleavage, the belt, the golden balls, your orphan clothes. Movie men argued but were swept aside. Do what she says. Metal boning, the extra train, butterfly bow shaped with horsehair and ostrich feathers and wire, the radiating creases, sequins spiraling in every direction. How could we have failed to notice? White. Everyone just rushed right along, didn't know any better. Tiny bits of cracked leaves, alphabet specks, potato skin specks, shards of plastic from shoelace tips, saltpeter, commas, all spilling through as they worked it by the handful. One old woman they called crazy. She left the group and turned up the walkway, wanted to enter the little white house, which was not very white. She tried to imagine herself already inside, and once in, she made a point of imagining she was back on the walkway. A teenage girl chewing gum came downstairs. She tried to help the woman, had her face forward while walking backward. This caused neck strain. The woman said, "Babies are the ones with rubber necks, but they can't walk." "That's true," the girl replied. "When I was born, I could multiply fractions, though I had no memory." She swallowed her gum to make way for a wedge of brie, which was much whiter than average, and the people came after it. Perfection spills, shredded muscle, white matter, clatter of elbow macaroni, opinion grater, conundrum bubbles, fall down granny, tears.
Not Another Grandma poems. My grandmother pulled cruelty in the deep corners of her mouth, as if she was storing them for winter. When my parents flew to Berlin, she warned me and my sister that the walls of her house could hear us, and so we snuck down to the creek, exchanged whispers beneath the trees. When we returned late in the afternoon, she mentioned our luck that the hobos didn't make us their child brides. Sure, she cooked halushkis, sausages, and cabbage rolls like any respectable Slovak wife, but she was no cookie baking, scrapbook making, finger dipping in the batter kind of grandma. No, she raised 13 siblings among abandoned machinery in West Virginia, among the coal mines of the hills, dropped out of the 8th grade to work as a steel mill, and chose to marry my grandfather because he was a butcher. One night, while watching Johnny Carson, she held my hand, gripped the tip of my index finger, and folded it against the first knuckle joint. I didn't scream as she clasped, giggling as she said her grandmother played the same game with her. She loved her 36 Double D breasts, her senior 49-cent McDonald's coffee, and her slender ankles, unlike her sister Lizzie. I used to crawl into the corners of her closet, smell the satin linings of her fur coats. She'd never donated clothes to Goodwill, instead filled black bags with the trash so she wouldn't see homeless women wearing her rabbit coats. She went to the mall every Tuesday with Mrs. Malacher and knew how to dance the polka and speak Czech. Once when I wet the bed, she washed my sheets and hung them up on the line in the back, so when my cousins were running through the sprinkler, they could see them sway back and forth. Last Christmas, she pulled me close, her coffee breath hot against my cheek. Her tongue grazed my ear, and she murmured, "Remember, Jennifer, when I used to say that I would crack your kneecaps? Those were good memories."